Hey, what's up? I'm gonna be reacting to the worst crimes in the Halo community, by Yapmaster. I'm not sure what kind of crimes are in the Halo community, but let's go.
These are some of the most disturbing crimes that happen in the
Oh, is this like the average Halo player, like, mugshot? What?
These are some of the most disturbing crimes that happen in the Halo franchise community, and as the video goes on, things go from awful to horrifying. Chris Harris
Wait, what did that say?
things go from awful to horrifying.
Oh god. Case 1, the Ozarks debacle. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay.
Chris Harris, known in the Halo community
Chris
as
Harris?
gamertag Ozarks, was an up-and-coming North American pro.
Alright.
He started off as a Twitch streamer, but was good enough to get the attention of the Eastern Media GG esports
Eastern
team.
Media GG.
Chris had a moderate following, gathering 1.3 thousand followers on Twitch, and he even had a TikTok
Base?
account where he posted clips of his gameplay. Now, over the years, Chris had built a good amount of goodwill
What Halo game did this guy pro in then?
with his followers and fans as he engaged with them
Predicting
regularly during
3.
his streams. But his actions in early 2020 left his fans and organization horrified. On January 27, 2020, Halo fans were shocked to receive a very disturbing post from Chris on TwitLonger, a site
What is that
post
what is that stock fucking who does that expression?
to receive a very disturbing post from Chris on TwitLonger, a site that lets users
TwitLonger, oh god.
the 280 character limit. Now in this post, he expressed how he was struggling with his mental health.
This isn't going to be easy for me to write, because I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not okay. I'm far from it. And this is the only way I know how to express my emotions.
Still relying on legacy EDI? Manual work, costly van providers, and slow onboarding are holding you back. Borderful changes everything. Onboard trading partners 10 times faster. Automate every transaction.
Right now, this will be extremely choppy.
Now he went further, revealing that he'd been struggling with some scary thoughts after apparently
Okay. So what I'm getting so far is he's a Halo esports pro, and he's having suicidal thoughts.
losing his day job and
His
Someone who
okay.
don't know, I struggle with intense anxiety and depression.
That's gotta suck.
I've struggled for some time now. My last attempt was during UGC Daytona a few years ago.
Daytona?
It matters. But the past couple of weeks, the thoughts have come back into my head. I honestly don't want to be around anymore.
Now he also announced that he was stepping away from pro play and getting the help he needed.
I promise you that I'm seeking help for what it's worth, but at the same time, I really don't want to get help. Anyway, the point of this whole point of this long message, I am leaving.
You don't gotta post it on Twitter, dude. Just go get help. What? I mean, I feel like Twitter would be worse for you if you're feeling this way, dude. Oh my god, especially the people on Twitter, that'd be cooked. Oh, they'd be like, young man, do it, kill yourself.
EMGG, and I'm done with streaming for good. I'm sorry, but my passion is gone.
However, the slight relief that fans felt would soon completely evaporate when a day later, on January 27, 2020, an unknown Twitter account with the username HooverJMac posted about attempting to leave the earth with a gun. Now the post claimed that he'd survived, but was being treated in the hospital undergoing surgery for the injuries he'd received. Now the post went viral, and soon everyone in the Halo community was talking about it. Fans showed their worry with posts like,
I'm not kidding. There are
What the fuck?
tears coming out of my eyes right now. I rarely ever cry, but I can't believe what I just saw too. I'm actually devastated, and I barely know him. I really hope they can save him.
I don't think that's his family. It's probably a scam.
and
I legit sat for a couple of minutes thinking, damn, like this sucks.
It's
bad.
definitely a scam.
started out by HooverJMac with the goal of helping.
Damn, like this sucks so bad.
Now a
GoFundMe, the goal is 75K, and he's got $1,881, and I'm assuming it's just a scam.
GoFundMe was started out
That's
by HooverJMac
messed up.
with the goal of helping Chris cover medical costs, and it gathered over $1,000 in donations from fans in less than a day. However, this rally of support for Chris was about to crash in an unexpected way. Hours after HooverJMac's post, another Twitter account named Sam Miller came online with some big accusations. According to them, the account was impersonating them and had used their profile picture.
I fucking called it. Dude, it's always shit like that. I swear, it's like.
And things got even more dramatic when Sam revealed that Chris was alive and well.
He didn't do it. He's perfectly fine, I promise. And this dude is for sure a cloud chaser.
Now Sam could verify the information he was giving, as it turned out that he was Chris's cousin.
I don't even know what's going on.
His cousin.
And I just learned about all of this 20 minutes ago. And Chris running the Hoover JMac account is not me. Chris is 110% fine. My cousin FaceTimed him. Don't believe this stuff.
Why not 120?
These posts also got a lot of traction, and skepticism grew even larger when Hoover JMac deleted his account completely. Now it was hard for fans to tell what was truly going on, and what state Chris was actually in. In just a few hours though, Hoover JMac's identity and intentions would be revealed, and it will lead to an even bigger controversy. In the midst of all the commotion around Chris, the Eastern Media GG CEO, Steven Zimmer,
Oh shit. We're getting into the CEOs now. This guy looks a little scary, but it's okay.
known in the community simply as Zim, got involved. Not
Zim.
only was he worried about the health of one of his players, but he wanted to get to the bottom of the apparent Hoover JMac hoax. And so he started off by confirming that Chris was in fact safe.
Okay, so the guy was safe all along. It was just fully a scam by someone trying to be his cousin.
After calling him,
We got like
confirming
1,000
that
out of that?
GoFundMe about the donation scam, and they immediately responded, offering refunds to everyone who donated.
Immediately.
That settled, the next focus was to figure out who Hoover JMac was, and it would not take long before this was uncovered too. Just 3 hours after Zim's first post, EMGG released an official statement on Twitter concerning the drama.
We want to confirm the events from this morning were in fact orchestrated. Christopher will be seeking professional help and staying in contact with us throughout the process. We apologize for everyone for how difficult today has been. We've spent hours getting to the bottom of the events and talking with them. Thank you for your patience and support in this trying time. Moving forward, we will
So it was entirely staged, and
have an updated policy to deal with any sort of events similar to this, but hope to never experience anything similar to this in the future.
huh?
It turns out that Zim had discovered as he investigated this case that Chris had set this all up by himself.
He did it himself. He almost got away with like he almost got away with $1,888.
Now, why he wanted to scam his own fans remained a mystery to the community, especially considering that it would become clear sooner or later that he was lying. And with the community getting anxious and asking more questions, Zim confirmed what had happened. Chris had confessed that he'd been seeking attention, and it went a little overboard with it.
Wow.
Zim also claimed that Chris regretted his actions as he asked for grace from fans.
All these events were indeed orchestrated by Ozars. He made the account, he created the incidents. This is not a witch hunt. Please don't go after him. Chris needs help.
Unfortunately, the damage had been done, and fans felt outraged that they'd been emotionally manipulated.
I love that video.
But they rallied behind Zim and EMGG for their handling of the situation. They swarmed Zim's post, giving praise with comments like,
Wish the best for you and your org members in whatever hate comes because of this. I hope you also learn from your mistakes and also remove them. Stay strong, brother, and welcome to owning an org where crazy stuff happens
So he orchestrated everything and ruined his career.
that you can plan
Okay.
or learn to adapt to with thick skin.
and
Don't you for a second question your actions. If it were to have been a real incident, this is exactly the reactions that show how much of a caring person you are. And you being that person is exactly why the EMGG community is the family that was shown today.
now the craziest part is that even with all the backlash that he got, Chris never addressed the incident or gave an apology. He also wasn't charged
What?
criminally or banned by Twitch, although he never recovered from the bad publicity and stopped streaming a year later, in 2021. Now his career also took a nosedive, and he's not returned to the top flight pro Halo scene since the incident. But even though Chris defrauded his own fans, it pales in comparison to this next subject, whose inappropriate contact came back to haunt his career.
That earlier
This guy looks like a chud.
this
Okay.
year, he was arrested, went to jail, charged with a felony, but due to the injustice of our justice system, he took a plea deal and was convicted of a Class 1 misdemeanor for sending obscene content with.
You asked for more ways to create, so we made a major update. Sleep is now live. You can now design directly.
It was early October 2025.
I like that armor.
And
I really like that fucking armor set. Oh my god.
A pro player, Despiteful, had been making a name for himself in the Halo competitive scene. He was slowly inching towards being
It's like Halo 3's
He
armor.
already played in multiple grassroots competitions, like the online tournament organizer Boom TV Gauntlet Tournament.
Boom TV
Halo
Gauntlet.
Championship Series off-seasons opens. He'd even played in the $25,000 2023 Space Station Gaming Spartan Showdown competition and the 2023 Spartan Snowdown, where he'd placed in the top 5 in both events. However,
Top 5. What crime could this guy commit? He's doing good.
Just when the going was starting to get good, another pro player's spite would expose a part of his life that he really tried hard to hide. The Spiteful's nemesis was a player named Michael Complexion Manzo, known in the Halo community by his gamertag Complexion, or just Gunny.
Gunplexion?
He was also a streamer,
I think I heard of this guy.
being a core member of the Legion Gaming Halo Pro team. In early 2025, he started speaking out publicly against the Spiteful on a stream.
Yo, this is the most locked in fucking Halo player I've ever seen.
In early
What the
2025,
fuck is that? Look at his eyes. Like, he just doesn't blink. Like, he blinked once in like a matter of like seconds.
he started speaking out publicly against the Spiteful on his streams with some pretty heavy allegations. According
Buddy,
to Gunny,
blink.
The Spiteful had been
Your eyes are gonna burn, dude.
appropriate contact with a person not yet of age. And even worse, Gunny claimed that the Spiteful had been arrested for it and had even pleaded guilty to a reduced charge.
We discovered through Randolph County police reports that earlier this year he was arrested, went to jail, charged with a felony, but due to the injustice of our justice system, he took a plea deal and was convicted of a Class 1 misdemeanor for sending obscene content to a girl.
Now the internet was conflicted at these accusations.
For sending
To a Lakers 13 jersey girl.
Conflicted at these accusations, with some taking Gunny's side and others skeptical of his claims against the Spiteful. According to Reddit user CakeBeast,
Very bold of the
Is this the EDP 445 of the Halo community?
Spiteful to start
Oh,
hating
no.
with this dark
Give him a
cloud covering
cupcake,
from your
man.
life. Now the entire world knows your story.
another user by the name of NYCK also chimed in, saying,
Just put the fries in the bag.
Put the fries in the bag, dude.
Jesus.
however, the Spiteful never even responded to the accusations. As far as people knew, he was just going to let things cool
What?
off naturally. Now the Spiteful wasn't the only thing on Gunny. As far as people knew, he was
I love me some implants.
just going to let things cool
Based.
off naturally. Now the Spiteful wasn't the only thing on Gunny's plate, however. He and the rest of the Legion Gaming team were about to go into the biggest
Wait, who,
competition of their
Spiteful?
professional careers.
Who is
You
it?
see, Legion Gaming was one of the lesser established teams in the Halo competitive scene, and they were on the verge of being able to prove themselves on a big stage. They just managed to make it to the last chance qualifiers competition, their final
Oh,
chance
shit.
to compete at the 2025 Halo World Championship, and winning this would mark the organization's first entry into the biggest event in competitive Halo, run by the Halo Championship Series, and which is the developer of Halo itself. Now the qualifiers were held from October 3rd to 343 Industries.
Get that shit out of here. Me and the homies hate 343 Studios. It's Halo Studios now.
Which is the developer of Halo itself. Now the qualifiers were held from October 3rd to 5th, 2025, and Gunny, along with the rest of his team, locked in. After a blowout 3-0 win against Kraken CSGG, another up-and-coming team in the Halo
Kraken
esports scene,
CSGG.
Legion Gaming qualified, earning their place in the HWC. But in just a few hours after their impressive achievement, the brewing feud between him and the Spiteful would resurface, and this time with serious consequences.
Serious
In this
consequence.
match, SC players
It's gonna be some vile shit, and I know it. Like, there's already that thing about the miners, and it's probably gonna be even worse.
were walking out every
Well, I guess what can be worse than that, but
Gunny and
still.
the Spiteful ran into each
I'm assuming more miner stuff. It's not even just that one thing.
other, and they started to confront each other about the statements Gunny had made. Now, after some back and forth, they started threatening each other, and Gunny then took a swing at the Spiteful, hitting him on the back of his head. This charged things even more, and it looked like an all-out
What kind of fucking swing was that?
hitting him on the back of his head. This charged things, and that seemed to be the end of it. But by the next day,
Wait.
the drama had, but the two men were the back of his head and forth.
What
they
was that
started
swing?
threatening each other, and Gunny then took a swing at the Spiteful, hitting him on the back of his head. This charged things even more, and it looked like an all-out brawl was about to start. But the two men were quickly separated.
Ay, 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 man.
And that seemed to be the end of it. But by the next day, the drama had blown out of proportion. On October 6, 2025, Legion Gaming released a statement on X, condemning the fight that Gunny had gotten involved in.
As an organization, Legion Gaming does not allow, stand for, or endorse any acts that violate any code of conduct by anyone who represents us. That is not who we are. We wish to thank our fans for their continued support, and we ask
What?
that our privacy be respected as we continue to navigate the situation.
However, the case was far from over. Even though HSC never released a statement, it became clear that they were taking it extremely seriously. Gunny's suspension wasn't lifted,
Buddy, you mean HCS?
and the closer the World Championship got, the more likely it was that he wasn't actually going to
HSC.
win the competition. And to fans, this seemed to be a big disappointment, that Gunny's career would be so quickly derailed just when it was picking up speed. But the Spiteful didn't seem to care. He celebrated his win against Gunny, posting on X,
Damn, imagine sneaking up a slap on the back of my head from behind and then getting banned for life. Womp womp.
He even went as far as making fun of Gunny by streaming with the troll image of Gunny as his profile picture. Now this prompted some backlash from the community. A Reddit user named StraightGas69
Wait, so this Spiteful, he's Is he the one talking to the miners?
Vibe Coding 101 Part 3. Stop typing your prompts. Seriously. You're prompting cursor over 100
Really?
a day, but typing detailed context takes
Back more ball off my screen.
Look, I'm not defending what Gunplexion did at Charlotte. It was definitely not acceptable behavior on HCS grounds. But come on, it's over. Why is dude still trolling him on streams and using more rage bait pictures? Let it go. If you listen to him talk, he sounds like a bratty teenager with no respect for anyone. What a
Bratty teenager is
Fans also
crazy.
brought up the very accusation that Gunny had brought up against the Spiteful, pointing out that he never addressed the actual accusation.
Gunny's a dude. Okay, so if Gunny's getting banned because he slapped a P3DO, then why is he getting banned?
According to Reddit, users
If I seen a P3DO, I'd try to slap him.
APG talked about it in his stream, and people found the documents. Some posted on the sub, but mods removed it.
Now this actually prompted the Spiteful to go off the radar, and even though there haven't been any public updates on any legal complaints against him, his Twitch eventually got suspended, and he hasn't been heard of much since then. On the other hand,
Finally.
Gaming went on to participate in the Halo World Championship, but the loss of Gunny seriously affected the team, and if that wasn't bad enough, HCS did not allow the team to substitute Gunny, forcing them to play with only 3 active members. Now they were very easily overwhelmed by their opponents,
What?
being eliminated very early on in the competition after a 0-3 loss record. Gunny has not been involved in any professional Halo event since the incident, and it's unknown if he'll ever resume. Still, he managed to avoid
That's
jail,
fucked.
unlike in the next case where a teenager got lured into a life of crime after he got tired of losing too many online games.
So today I've got Ricky Hanschumacher with me. Now look, Ricky represents so much of the story of a highly talented, bright kid who found a pathway of experimentation.
This guy looks like he's got a hat on, but it's his hair. We got Frank West over here from Dead Rising.
That led him into a world that became criminalized.
On July 18,
The Halo hacker.
25-year-old Ricky Joseph
Goddamn
was
hackers.
preparing for a job as a Port Richey Park employee. Little did he know that in just a few minutes, local and federal law enforcement would have his house completely surrounded, because it turns out that Ricky wasn't just a park employee, and this raid would expose an empire of crime that had lasted for years. Almost a decade before the cops came knocking, Ricky was a totally different person. He was a 16-year-old baseball prodigy with a .4 batting average. This means he got a hit in 4 out of every 10 swings as a batter. He was the fact that he'd even considered playing professionally. When he wasn't in school or playing baseball though, he enjoyed playing games on his Xbox, especially Halo 3. But there was a problem. Multiplayer games are vulnerable to cheats and exploits, a problem that still exists to this day.
Yo, this guy's fucking crazy.
It's not an exception to this. Ricky very often lost games to one of those cheats, known as stand-buying, or using
Stand-buying lag? Oh my god.
Player would put the internet router on stand.
I fucking hate lag switches. That's gay.
By mode, and this would make the other players on the opposing team get stuck and unable to interact with anything, allowing the host player and their teammates to have complete control over the game, and so they could easily eliminate their opponents without any difficulty. Now Ricky hated being stand-byed, so much so that he decided to do something about it, and this is where he started to get involved with the shady side of the internet. A friend from school introduced Ricky to an online site where he could learn how to fight back with attacks of his own. Ricky got involved, and he soon learned how to launch distributed denial of service attacks, or DDoS attacks. In a DDoS attack,
great.
amount of useless data is sent to a target, clogging up its
DDoSers.
badly that it can't work anymore, causing their game to lag and glitch. Now with this attack, Ricky's editing
What the fuck was that body glitch? He was fucking...
were powerless
Never mind.
and unable to do anything while he eliminated them over and over again. Now each attack cost about $10, but to him it was money well spent.
Okay,
Now,
that's
from then on,
messed
he
up.
dominated his Halo lobbies.
$10
game after game.
dollars.
In his words,
$10
Like getting free wins.
$10 each attack is crazy. You're spending $10 so you won't die in a game.
You felt like you were in control and there was nothing they could do to stop you.
the DDoS attacks were a slippery slope though, and soon Ricky craved for more, and so he became part of an online group of cyber tech specialists known as the Community, or the COM. This group ran more serious operations that went beyond gaming squabbles and deep
What?
into the realm of criminal activity, such as wire fraud, which basically means using technology to scam people, which is a federal crime, and money laundering, which basically means
Oh, so he's just a criminal now.
illegally concealing
Okay.
a portion of money you've earned through illegal stuff. Now Ricky learned a lot from the COM, especially social engineering, which is finding ways to bypass security systems by tricking actual people into giving sensitive information. Now with the skills he learned, he got involved in getting rare Xbox gamer tags for sale. He started with his own username, managing to have it changed from Ricky6 to Wolverine. Now there were a lot of people on the dark web who wanted cool tags and were willing to pay hundreds of dollars for them, and in a short amount of time, Ricky had made tens of thousands of dollars. For almost a decade, he carried on with the scheme, but soon he realized that he could make a ton more money from a more direct approach to cybercrime. By this time it was already 2017, and even though the now 24-year-old Ricky had started working for the city of Port Richey, Florida as a park employee, he was also a cryptocurrency bandit. He did this by
Camera!
He learned from the community. He would
Okay.
mobile carriers to transfer victims' phone numbers to a new SIM card that he controlled, and then he'd use the stolen phone numbers to reset the email and passwords of his victims' crypto wallets, which he then would rob. Now that required
So he's taking cryptocurrency. That's gotta be a lot of money, though. I respect the grind. Mr. Senior Scammer.
relatively little work, and because crypto is designed to be decentralized and anonymous, once the money was gone, it was almost impossible to trace or get back. Now he made millions of dollars during this period with the help of his buddies at the comp, but eventually he started to draw attention to himself from the one person he least expected it
Am I gotta do it?
from. In February of 2018, Ricky's mother, who he lived
Doing it on Halo 3 though makes me angry.
was at home with her son one day when she overheard him talking on the phone with someone while pretending to be an AT&T employee. She immediately sensed that her son was involved in some shady business and raised the alarm, calling the police and informing them of her suspicions. Now this led to a raid on the home, where police officers uncovered evidence including multiple cell phones, SIM cards, and computer files containing an extensive list of names and phone numbers of people from around the world. Now a month later, in March, law enforcement in Michigan also caught Ricky collecting the personal data of a new target with public Wi-Fi at a local library. And during this raid, they seized 45 more SIM cards, a laptop, and a Trezor wallet, which is a physical storage device for cryptocurrency. Now a third search was done in April 2018, after Ricky's mom realized that he'd gotten another mobile phone. This time, they found 2 large bags filled with SIM cards, as well as a fake driver's license and passports. It looked like Ricky was ready to escape, so they had to act fast. Now, by this time, they'd gathered enough evidence against him, and so they finally started to build a case. Detectives were able to find 2 victims of Ricky and the comp, and when they interviewed them, they discovered that they'd been scammed out of about $150,000.
$150,000, that's fucked. Imagine getting scammed by a little Halo nerd.
Each in cryptocurrency after their phones were hijacked. Now a third victim they found also claimed to have lost $50,000.
Okay, is this person starving? Get them some fucking food, dude.
Investigators also discovered that in May 2018, the group ran an attack and stole 57 bitcoins, worth between $470,000
Damn, dude, fucking crazy hackers, dude.
at the time, from a single victim. In all of this, Ricky was an important member who was helping the comp collect.
How far can your apps go?
Video over.